Welcome to another connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, thanks for joining us on this week's show. Each Monday we come into Studio B and have different organizations and individuals from those organizations come in to talk about things going on around our broadcast area. We have some great organizations, and we hope that you enjoy the show and that we get you information perhaps you didn't know about. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We're going to talk with two young ladies from the Boone County Library. Lots of things going on.
This is Josh from Harrison Battery and Tire. Lots of folks have been asking about roadside assistance, and now it's available. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we can quickly and efficiently take care of your tires and battery issues with one phone call. Professional, secure, comforting to get you back on the road. No matter what time, no matter what type of vehicle you drive, call for details at 870-741-7041. Harrison Battery and Tire on the curve of Main Street in Harrison, harrisonbatteryandtire.com. Big enough to serve, small enough to care.
Many things have changed over the years, and so has auto body repair. Even though Ozark Auto Body has been in business for over 30 years, they continue to change with the times. They believe protecting the environment is important and have done so by using environmentally friendly waterborne paint from PPG. This aligns with the technology used by original manufacturers and gives you a lifetime limited warranty. Quality PPG waterborne paint, ASC certified personnel, plus 24-hour towing service. Ozark Auto Body in Harrison, always taking pride in excellence. Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Our first two guests in the studio today from the Boone County Library, Beth Kaffenberger and Tina Farmer's substituting today. You got her to sub in?
Yeah.
Thank you both for coming in. We try to have you guys each month. Beth, you've been real good to keep us informed about what's going on, and your newsletter, which is you do a good job on. That probably doesn't take a lot of time, does it?
Not at all.
You just throw that together real
That's right.
fast. Well, you know, the Boone County Library, if you haven't been down there recently, you should go, because they do a lot of great things, not just books. You know, you think of a library as books, but library anymore in the modern age is not necessarily books. They still have a lot of them, but they do a lot more. And Boone County Library is very active here. We're real fortunate for a town the size of Harrison and a community in an area like Boone County and other counties surrounding to have a library where you can go and just about find anything you want to, plus all the special events that they have, and 99% of the time they're free of charge, I guess I should say, or most of the time they're always free, I guess. Going into June, I'll let you start, Beth, and then we'll get Tina involved in the children's programs, and just kind of tell us what's going on.
Well, beginning today, actually, we're going to start our summer reading program registration.
Okay.
So this is going to run through the 16th of June. And it's for children and for adults. So if you come into the library, you can sign up for the adult summer reading program, or you can go upstairs and sign up your children for their program. But basically, you know, you just fill out a little registration form, and we'll give you a reading packet. And for every book you read, for the adults, every book you read, you come in, bring in your reading log, and someone at the front desk will initial it. You'll be able to enter your name in for a prize. We're going to have weekly drawings and then a grand prize drawing at the end of the program, which is the end of July. So there's just various things for every program that you attend during the summer reading program. You can also enter the drawing for that too. So.
Oh, wow. Nice. Do you get, I mean, is this something that every summer you try to do the summer reading program?
Yes, every summer there is a program. And so our theme for this summer is to build a better world. And of course, our world is kind of a mess, and so we like to try to do whatever we can to make it a better place. And so we have a couple different activities that we're going to be doing, programs, I guess, throughout this month, kind of on that side, you know, like let's try to build a better world. And just to mention one, throughout the summer reading program, we're going to do a drive for luggage for children. So sometimes, you know, children are in a foster home, or maybe they have to be pulled from their home and sent into an emergency foster home, and they don't have a suitcase or a duffel bag to stick their clothes or their belongings in. And so what we're trying to do at the library is, if anybody has any luggage laying around that, it's just kind of taking up space, you don't use it anymore, we're just encouraging you to bring it down to the library, give it to someone at the front desk, and we're going to pass it on to those children who need it.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you just made me think of something, Beth. I think I've got a couple of pieces of luggage I haven't used in years. I'll bring them down there,
All
too.
right, yeah.
Actually, a brand new duffel bag I've got somewhere, and I don't think it's ever out of the plastic, and I'd never use it. So I'm glad you said that. That's a great idea. So many, we'll get off base for just a second, but we've had individuals from the school and, of course, DHS, Grandma's House. We have a lot of children in need here, and I'm sure one thing about the library is it's free of charge, and you can go use it. You want to respect it, but you can use it at any time. And I'm sure a lot of these children that may not have, may not even have parents. They may have guardians, grandparents, friends that they're staying with, but they certainly don't have the money to do things that many times we take for granted that some kids do. And it's great to have a place like the library where they can go. They can, reading is so important anyway. But they can go and enhance their reading skills and, just be able to utilize all the facilities there. I like that idea. Go ahead. Didn't mean to interrupt you there.
Oh, no, that's fine. So we just have that. So we're just encouraging people, it's kind of like a decluttering your house, even though it may be in a closet, out of sight, out of mind.
Yes.
It's still there, and we should give it to someone who could use it.
So they can bring them anytime. Is that for a period of time, or like month of June you're going to be doing it for sure?
Pretty much the end of June through the whole month of July.
Okay.
If for whatever reason you can't get it during that time, I'm sure you can make arrangements and we'll take it.
Take it anyway.
Yes.
So, okay.
And then also Home Depot's coming in June 22nd at 5:30 for a do-it-yourself workshop. I don't exactly know specific details on what they're going to be doing, but I know it's going to be some sort of a home improvement. So if maybe you don't have the money to bring somebody in, maybe you can come to this class and learn how you can fix up your home.
Yourself.
Yourself.
I could use that class myself. I could use a lot of do-it-yourself stuff. Actually, I have seen the workshop one time that Home Depot puts on, and they really give you some good, simple ways of doing, like putting tile down, for instance, or how to stain without, doing it improperly. Just some simple stuff, small building skills that, do it yourself around the house that you always run into, but maybe you can't afford to have somebody come in. That's a good idea. That's something that most people need a little bit of, at least, if you have a home or if you live in a home somewhere. Okay, go ahead. What else you got going here?
Well, this coming Thursday, we actually have two programs. So
Okay.
Tina has a program, and then we do too. And we're getting Joey Wages to come in, and he's going to teach a guitar class, kind of for beginners, teach you the basics, how to tune your guitar, how to read key signatures. Maybe all you have is piano music and you want to play your guitar. He'll kind of give you some pointers how to take your piano music and make it in a way that you can actually play your guitar using that music.
Nice.
And then Tina has a program.
Yes, my genealogy department. We have a program coming up Thursday evening.
As well? Okay.
Refreshments at 5, program beginning at 5:30. It's Susan Young from the Shiloh Museum. She's the outreach coordinator there. And she's going to be giving us a program on traditional life in the Ozarks. It's called At Home in the Ozarks, A Traditional Way of Life.
Okay.
And we're excited about that. She usually brings in a nice crowd. And I haven't had the privilege of listening to her programs, but I've heard other people just praise her.
Wow.
So I'm excited to have her visit and do a program for us.
Now, is she going to talk about genealogy in general, or
No, she's
more
going-
specific?
More specifically, just life here in the Ozarks,
Okay.
an older way of life.
Okay.
She's going to cover that.
Very nice. It is interesting, some of the background of the Ozarks. And kind of where
We have a
were.
rich heritage.
We really do. A lot of people don't think about it as much as that. Go ahead. What else? Anything? What else we got going on here?
Okay, well, June 16th, I kind of want to mention this. And I'm going to be having an author come in. And it's through the program If All Arkansas Read the Same Book, which is through the Arkansas State Library.
Okay.
And the author for this month is going to be Cassie Dandridge Selleck.
Okay.
And she wrote the book, The Pecan Man, or The Pecan Man.
Okay.
Anyway, so she's going to be coming June 16th at 12 o'clock. So around noon, she'll be at the library in our upstairs meeting room. And basically, she's just coming in to give a reading on her book, book signings, and just tell about her book. We do have 2 copies of her book in the library. And basically, it's a Southern novel set in Florida in the 1970s.
Okay.
And it explores issues of race, redemption, family, and community.
Okay.
And some people have described it as it's To Kill a Mockingbird meets The Help. So if anybody has,
interesting,
yeah, it should be an interesting book. And if you want to, you know, kind of get an idea of who she is and what she's written beforehand, I encourage anybody to come in and check out our books at the library. Read it ahead of time so that if you have specific questions or whatever, you can come down and speak with her.
Okay.
So.
We're kind of running close on time. We're about 4 minutes. Tina, let me get back to you. What else do you have?
Now, as Beth mentioned, our summer reading program, we also have that in the children's department. Be sure and sign up this week and next. The reading program is from ages birth to age 17.
Okay.
And each week, children will set their goals, and whenever they bring their log sheet in each week, they will then get a reward for having met their goal for reading. And on June the 20th, that is our opening day for reading program. Ronald McDonald will be our visitor on that day. And at the very end of summer, we always have a pool party for those that completed the summer reading program.
Oh, nice.
And we encourage everyone to come to the children's department. We have a great staff there in the children's department.
You do have a good staff down there. Well, that sounds like fun. Will he bring the burglar with him? You know, I don't. Just kidding. Okay, about 3 minutes left. I see you've got on here this the wildflower program.
Right. So our Buffalo National River Partners program for this month.
They always have good programs, don't they?
They really do. Is going to be all about the wildflowers along the Arkansas state highways. And so the lady that's coming in, she knows all about these programs that they're doing. And so if you love flowers, I encourage you to come out to this, because I don't really know what all she'll be covering, but I'm sure it will be very interesting. And I mean, we always see the flowers as we drive along, so at least this way maybe we can identify what we're seeing.
What they are. You know, actually I've seen people, maybe you have, I actually haven't stopped, but I've thought about it a couple times. I've kind of like flowers. I'm kind of into that as a hobby. But you go along the highway and you see different, you're like, well, I like to go out and dig up some of those and take them. I haven't done it, but I do see people do that quite often, you know, that are in the right-of-ways and the wildflowers. And of course, the Baker's Prairie, we're real fortunate to have that over by the high school, and you can really get a view of wildflowers. It's really pretty over there right now. A couple minutes, do we miss? Oh, the coloring. What's this adult coloring?
Okay, well, I don't know if you know, but, you know, adult coloring kind of became a big thing. And so we just encourage, if you want an hour of stress-relieving time, you can come out and color with fellow
I could use that every
people.
once in a while.
People who like coloring, being creative. We do supply the colors and the paper and whatever books, but if you have your own that you want to bring by and share with people, we also
That'd be fun too.
welcome that too.
Do we got them in there? So do we? What else, Beth? Have I missed anything?
I think we've pretty much covered it. I just want to encourage people to get our to look on our website.
Right.
It's updated with all of our upcoming programs. We try to make sure that everything that's coming up is right there, easy access.
Yes,
if you have a question, just give us a call. We're more than willing to answer any questions we can down there. It seems like our new program that we've switched over to is going well.
Okay.
But if people are still having problems, they can give us a call, and we'll help them out with that. But yeah, we get our newsletter out there, and it pretty much has everything.
And you usually put your newsletter out, what, the first couple days of the month?
Yeah, I try to get it out by the 1st. Okay. I did actually have a lady that just made a program with me for June 15th and the 20th around 5:30. She's going to come and do essential oils.
Okay,
so
that's a big thing these days.
Yes. So I know we had one last month, so if anybody missed that and they wanted to come again, we'll have another opportunity the 15th and the 20th of June.
Great.
So
thank you both for coming in. Tina, thanks for filling in. Of course, Beth she's just old hat. She comes in and does this stuff. But we do appreciate great staff down at the library. And thanks for all your hard work, all of you. We're very proud of the Boone County Library. If you haven't been down, go down and see the ladies, and they do a great job down there. If you'd like to join up and help out, the Friends of the Library. They always need volunteers, and they need volunteers at the library as well. Thank you both. We'll see you again the first of next month.
All right.
See what's going on in July.
Good.
Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We're going to talk with a lady about the Boone County Heritage Museum and what they've got coming up. Always something exciting there. Stay with us.
Plants, plants, and more plants. That's what you'll find at Camp's Plants in Harrison. Perennials, annuals, ferns, hanging baskets, shrubs, roses, decorative trees, and the largest selection of garden vegetables in the area. With different varieties arriving weekly, you're sure to find that perfect plant, shrub, or tree at the best price in the area. Camp's Plants, in business for over 32 years in Harrison.
My name is Nikki. I work at Dental Creations on the Square in Harrison, and I'm a dental assist. We're the first faces that the patients see. We get them through the paperwork process, explain what's going on, and just let them know step by step what to expect, and you get to see them throughout the whole process. We want our patients to be happy, we want them to be comfortable, and that's really what it's about, getting the best results while making great relationships with people.
Dental Creations on the Square in Harrison, next to the Big Red Boot.
We all need the help of a pharmacy from time to time. Sullivan Pharmacy would like to thank all their customers for supporting them as an independent local pharmacy. When you trade with an independent pharmacy, you deal with an owner that supports the local economy and charities. Visit Sullivan Pharmacy for any of your over-the-counter or prescription needs. It's important to keep helping those that help the community. Sullivan Pharmacy, 731 Main Street, Harrison, serving this area since 1965.
Back on Connection here on TKO8 Television. Dennis King, thanks for joining us on the Connection Show this week. Our second guest to be on the show today is from the Boone County Heritage Museum. Tonette Madison, thank you so much for coming
Thanks
over.
for having me. I always
haven't
enjoy.
Seen you in a while.
Yes, it's been a little while.
Again, I kind of talk about this like I talk about the Boone County Library sometimes. If you haven't been to the museum, you really need to go over there. They have some very interesting things. They get new stuff coming in quite often. They have programs, etc., and we're going to talk a little bit about that. First of all, how do you get funding for your museum over there?
Well, we are a part of the Boone County Historical Society.
Okay.
So the memberships from the Boone County Historical Society are the bulk of our funding. That's where that comes from. Also donations and memorials. We're all self-funded, 501c3, so that's how we're supported. So you really are supporting us when you're a member of the Boone County Historical and Railroad Society.
So that's kind of where most of your funding
Absolutely,
comes from. The building itself, and I date myself, I went to school there. I used to have classes in that building. But that building was owned, or is it still a Harrison School District? Do you just lease it, or do they let you stay there? How's that
They
work?
actually presented us with the key to the building at the Cornerstone opening in 2012. When we opened up the Cornerstone, the building was 100 years old that day.
Okay.
And so we got the key then, and we own that building. So we're responsible for all the upkeep and everything. And we have made many, many improvements to that building. So that's another expense that we have. But we're so proud to be in the building, preserving the history of Boone County in a place where so much of it happened.
Wow. Yeah, I do remember that now. It was that building, it was when it was 100 years old. I remember that. I couldn't remember if the school district actually leased it or deeded it or whatever, but they actually deeded it over to the society.
They did lease it for years, but at that time it became ours.
That's great. Some of the things that you do over there are quite unique, and let's talk a little bit about maybe what's coming up, some of the things you've got coming up.
Well, we have a Monday at the museum every month, the last Monday of the month. So we have that going on. And then, of course, we're sponsoring the platters this month. We got to keep those fundraisers coming because, as we said, that's our fundraisers are our only secondary source of income. So June 23rd, the platters are going to be at the Lyric Theater at 7 p.m. So we're excited about that.
Wow. And that's, if you don't know who the Platters, one of the premier groups from years gone by. So you want to talk about history? There's some great history and some great music. So that'll be a lot of fun. And again, if you want to listen to some good music and help the Boone County Heritage Museum, June 23rd, it starts at 7 p.m. at the historic Lyric Theater, by the way. Okay, let's see here. Do you have like a board of directors? I've kind of forgot how you're structured. How's everything operate there?
We do. There are officers in the Historical Society, and so they oversee, make decisions of what happens at the museum, and are very helpful in all those. Some have been there for years, and have donated a lot of their time and energy, to making us successful. So we appreciate all of them, all volunteer, of course. A thankless job, sort of, but they've been keeping history for quite a while.
I was trying to think, quite often you get, in fact, I guess I'm going to ask you, I'd like to know what your favorite artifact is over there, but you get artifacts donated quite often from families that want to see them preserved, or some history of the area.
Absolutely.
I'm sure people come in and say, we don't have anywhere for this. We'd like to donate this to the museum so that other people can see it and enjoy some of the history of the Ozarks and so forth.
Absolutely, and that's the reason our collection is so fantastic, is because of the people who have thought of us and bring it to us. And oftentimes it's, I have no idea if you can use this or if you'd be interested, and most times we are, as long as it has a history in Boone County.
Right.
We've sort of had to narrow our focus to only Boone County, and it's just, I always say, chock full of wonderful artifacts, thanks to the people who bring those in and let us display those, donate them to us, so that they're always archived there and always in our system. And so if great-great-grandchildren come looking for them in a few years, that's where they'll be.
Do you, when people bring in let's say an artifact, I'm assuming, so tell me if I'm wrong, when they bring it in, do they give you the history? I mean, do they know the background most of the time, or do you have to research it?
Well, we do research, but most of the time their history with the artifact is the most important thing that we want to preserve and archive. So yeah, we want to know all we can about the artifact, both before and after it was in their possession.
Give, just for the viewing audience, just a verbal description, if you will. What are some of the areas? I know you've got the different floors. What would you find if you went in there?
Well, we have an extensive collection on the M&A Railroad. Okay. Our railroad room is probably one of our largest, and we have so many diverse artifacts that have to do with the railroad. Everything from lanterns and signage and keys and locks to photographs and pictures and pay-wage books and just a lot of stuff. Tickets. I have a lot of train enthusiasts who come in and say, you've got an incredible collection here. A lot of people don't have, this stuff has been lost. So that's a huge part of the collection. Also, we have the parking meters upstairs, which is the largest that we know of in the world. The Smithsonian has at least one parking meter. I mean, I've researched this. I've tried to find others, and I can't. But we've been very fortunate to have had Duncan here, and they've supplied us with parking meters from all over the world. Wow. And we have a beautiful collection there. So if you're interested in that, and we do get a lot of calls.
I bet you do.
We do. So we have that. We have a store set up, a bedroom, a kitchen. We have industry in Boone County, and a lot of businesses that have been and still have a history there. There's so many things.
Wow.
Of course, we have Henry Starr pretty focused. And then there's an all wars room that is really, I think, reverent in that it represents all the wars that have taken place and the Boone County boys that have served us in those. So it's really just an awesome, there's archived interviews and different things like that in that room.
What's your favorite? What do you like the most?
Oh, every single thing you pick up has a story. There's this incredible story with it. One of my favorites that I mention a lot are some shoes that I guess I can say Colonel Fenton brought those in, and he lives in maybe the oldest house in Boone County, which Colonel Fick built originally.
Okay.
And when Colonel Fenton retired, he moved back and redid the house, and he found baby shoes in the walls that were leather, some of them wooden pegged, which predates the Civil War.
Wow.
Inside that house. Those could have actually been Colonel Fick's children's shoes. So we have those on display in the bedroom, and they're one of my favorite things. It's hard to choose a favorite.
There's a Fick cemetery, isn't there?
Yes.
And that's where is that? I'm trying to think. Is it up? I can't remember.
I'm directionally challenged.
That's okay.
But I know where it's at, but I can't tell you.
It's here. It's here.
It is.
It's kind of up on the hill there from Capps Road, isn't
Yes.
it? Yeah, right up there.
Yes.
I can't think of that
Yes.
street, but that made me think of it there.
That was actually the research that we've done. Was the first cemetery for Harrison, and they realized pretty quickly that it wouldn't be large enough.
Right.
So they literally moved the graves. Not sure if they got them all, but they moved graves to Rose Hill.
To Rose Hill.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, I remember that now. Do you need volunteers to help?
Always need volunteers, yes. There's lots of work to be done there. And so if you have an interest or a special skill that we can use, love to have you.
We talked about the platters. Is there anything else that you want to mention?
Actually, on Thursday night, we did change our hours to accommodate folks a little better. We're there 10 to 4 on Monday, Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. And then Thursday, we're open till 7. And we've started a new little genealogy thing because that's one of the most popular parts of the museum, are folks doing Boone County research. And we call it, Do You Know Who You Are? Little play on another show you might have heard of. But for $20, which also helps us with that fundraising, you get an hour devoted strictly to you doing your genealogy, and hopefully, I can't guarantee, but I would owe your money back that you'll leave knowing some things you didn't know before about your family.
Fun.
Yes.
So this is Thursday night.
Thursday night. You'll need to call for an appointment for that. That number, if I can, 870-741-3312. But we love to play that game, and it's a lot of fun for the folks, too.
Tonette, thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. We maybe want to get, and we've done some stuff over there, I know, and maybe put some video on, show a little bit sometime, have you back,
Yes.
and you can kind of talk about some of the things. And I'm sure if people out there, if you haven't been over there, at least go over and take a look, and Tonette and the volunteers can show you around, answer questions for you, obviously, and they need your support financially, and if you'd like to volunteer, they'd certainly like to have you as well. Actually, coming up, we want to mention one more time that one of their fundraising events that's coming up this month, it's the Evening with the Platters, and they will be in concert on Friday, June 23rd, down at the Historic Lyric Theater on the square in downtown Harrison. Starts at 7 p.m., and the ticket prices are
$16.
$16. Okay.
You can call the Lyric, and that number,
Okay.
870-391-3504.
Probably be a good idea to get your ticket ahead of time, wouldn't it? Because I think they'll fill up down there. So anyway, help them out. Do the best you can. Go down and enjoy the Boone County Heritage Museum. You'll like it. And if you're from this area, moved away, maybe have family that started here many, many years ago, you'll certainly enjoy it. Tonette, thank you so much.
Thank you
You're
for
doing a
having
great
me,
job,
Dennis.
and let's get you back over here again.
I like that. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on our Connection show this week. We hope we brought some information to you perhaps you didn't know about. Join us each Monday as we connect with what's going on around the viewing area.